But right now, he performed earlier on for us, and we're going to chit-chat a little bit with poet Captain Andrew. Yes. I'm a Captain Poet Andrew. Unatakaje?
Poet Andrew, Captain in the Flight of Poetry.
Captain in the Flight of Poetry.
Yeah.
Karibu sana Andrew.
Nashukuru sana.
Habari ya Mondays.
Mondays zimekuwa poa, nashukuru sana.
Yeah.
Ndo hawa sisi.
Ndio hao sisi sasa.
Manze.
Tell us, why Captain Poet Andrew?
Nikianza poetry sikuwa na nini like sikuwa na time ya kutafuta jina. So alafu sikutaka kulose wase wenye walikuwa wananijua ka Andrew. So mimi ni Andrew alafu na do poetry. So Poet Andrew. Captain ilikama vile nilianza kustanda as a spoken word artist. Nilijua na need brand yenye itani make outstanding. Yeah.
Okay. Sasa, there are many artists who do various things. Like Buba is doing music. Yes. Why poetry? Why not stand-up comedy like our tour, improv? Mbona poetry?
For me, I think it's a calling. Because nilikuwa na rap, unaona. So ndo nifike place yenye nime stand out as
Hang on, ulikuwa na rap? Kabit kakidrop too. As in DJ Blessing atoe kabit kamoja.
Ingeweza, lakini ni vile tu nimekuja kufanya spoken word.
Ka improv, leo ni improv, Andrew.
Ningekuwa glad, lakini sasa
sasa
kwa kichwa tu ni spoken word ndo zimejaa. Yes.
So, you are saying you started rapping and then you decided poetry.
Yeah, nilikuwa na rap. Nimegrow nikirap. But hiyo attention ili switch to writing poems. Sikuwa najua spoken word ni nini. So nilikuwa nikiandika poems. Then na share na watu kadhaa like 4 or 5 lines, watu wananiambia ni poa. So after a while nikachana nayo. So along the way tena ikakam.
Okay.
Yes.
So who introduced you to spoken word? Was it that ulikuwa unaenda ma places, kuona performances, ama you know ni to that talent that you have?
Actually no one introduced me.
Yeah?
Yeah. During time nilikuwa time yenye nilidiscover naweza fanya spoken word, I was not even in Nairobi, I was in Kilifi. Then ikikuja I was not that sure ni spoken word, nilikuwa tu nikisema maybe poems and stuff. So after a while, after nimekam nikaanza kuangalia kwa net ndo niko nayo hii kitu inafanya inaitwa spoken word. So kuna band fulani ya nguvu sana iko Kilifi inaitwa Kilifi Harmonies. Those guys walikuwa the first people wenye nilijiintroduce kwao, nikamwambia hey, tebu sikieni stuff. Then they were singing, they used to sing like they usually sing a cappella. So wakifuse na spoken word ilikuwa inaleta some test in their art. Yeah, so wakanisaidia kui nature and stuff. Ndio walikuwa wananishtua events and nini. Walinisaidia sana kusharpen my skill.
Yes. Amazing. Now what guys don't know is I've had the pleasure of watching Poet Andrew. And there was one time he was a featured poet at an open mic, Kwani open mic.
Yes.
And your dad came. Was it your dad who came?
My mentor.
Your mentor. Tell us a bit about. Yes, tell us a bit about that.
Our two people, the one who came, my mentor and my brother, actually are the one they were the first people that I told I want to do spoken word.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine they bought the idea. Hawakuniambia, uko sure kitu nyota nini? So they told me kani passion, go for it. So my mentor amekuwa na mimi ile time nikianza, nakumbuka nilikuwa nikifanyia nini tizi kwa bathroom yake nini and stuff. Hapo sina avenues. Unaona? Nilikuwa alafu nafanya networking and stuff. So nikiwa na event ananipatia fare, anani encourage and stuff nini. The same na my brother, alikuwa anani encourage, anani motivate. Before hata world kuje kunijua kama Poet Andrew. Yeah, so walikam kunisupport vile waliona nimekuwa featured poet. After a short duration sikuwa nimefanya poetry sana.
And you know support is very important, isn't it?
Very much.
Yeah, as an artist, just to take you to the next level. Now let me ask you a question about some of the challenges you have faced. Because if musicians just have a challenge getting airplay, getting their music out there, what about poetry? How challenging is it to establish yourself as a poet in Kenya?
Actually, right now, I think poetry, people are embrace. I think the only challenge is that it's so unfortunate most poetry shows they don't give much to poets.
They don't pay.
They don't pay.
Yeah.
Umetumia word.
You can say. No, you can say there was a campaign a couple of years ago called Pay the Poets.
Yeah.
So yes, it is out there.
Yeah, so I think hiyo ni one of the challenge. Alafu ukiangalia vile sai poets wako wengi. So it's so unfortunate most wanaenda kwa hizo show. Wako poa, so wamewakia talent zao.
But what about the school of thought that maybe the reasons why poets are not paid is because the people who attend the poetry events, most of them don't want to pay, so there isn't any money to pay the poets. What do you think about that?
No, I don't think that's the whole issue. I think if you have an event, I think you have the opportunity of inviting sponsorship onto the event. But sasa mkifanya tu like it's okay, wacha to come to nature, say wacha to come to nini.
For exposure.
For exposure ni normal by the way. Na wasee ni wakali. Unacheki, unajua mimi wanasemaje? It's not that si lazima ujulikane ndio uanze kulipwa. Wacha fanya kazi poa ndio ulipwe after hiyo kazi poa. So ni si poa mwambie wasee ni exposure na wasee ni wakali. Kama msee amefika, kama msee ni mkali, afanye ajulikane sana. Anza appreciate. Yeah, hata si kumlipa, appreciate ndio afike hiyo place. Kulipwa.
Now you are going to perform a short 1-minute piece for us, but I need to ask, have you ever performed at a corporate gig before?
Yeah, hata mimi huko ndo nakulia sahi. Yeah, huko ndo na try.
Hapo ndio shamba.
Manze, unaona nalima. Nakwambia. Huko ndo sahi, huko ndo najaribu create a lot of nitwaje jina?
Exposure.
Isi exposure lakini hata tuitumie hiyo sahi. Huko ndo najaribu create a lot of links because at least corporate gig,
a lot of networks.
Yeah. Unaona nikifanya at least moja inani sort for a month. So hizi zingine zikikam ndogo zinakuwa tu hizi za kutumia ni ndogo.
Okay.
Yes, hizo at least ndo zinatu sort kiasi.
You know, Poet Andrew, maisha inabadilika. Not everybody wants to be an engineer, scientist. Some people, even as young as 6-year-old, want to be poets. Before you do that short piece of yours, what advice do you have for upcoming poets who are watching you and they're like, maze niko Pokot, niko Kakamega, niko Kisumu, nina hustle, Mombasa, and the poetry scene is not up and going, but inspire. How can they take it to the next level where, you know, they're here on the trend and they have an album out?
What I nimekuja kulearn that most of the poets, they are really good. They are really talented. But the problem is that most of them, they're not hardworking. Hardworking come in terms of they don't look for gigs. They don't create enough networks. So mimi naweza nikasemaje, if already you should establish talent yako, it's now upon you. Put your effort here, nafai ni perform wapi next. Put your effort, nani anafai nijuane naye next. Unaona? Hiyo ndo the only thing. But ukisema wewe ni mkali umekaa hapo ati poetry elipi au sijui nini elipi na tukikuuliza where have you been unasema Noya. Aje Noya aje.
Hawezi kula ukali.
Let me tell you, nikianza spoken word nilikuwa inspired in each and every gig that I do na I note down. Do you know by the time 2015 iliisha I had done like 50-60 gigs.
Wow.
Na si ati nimelipwa ama stuff. Actually nikihesabu kwa 6 I think nilipata 3k.
So Andrew, it is important sometimes to do some gigs for free.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes, ndio?
Sometimes.
Kila wakati.
Thank you. You word umetumia ni nzuri. Sometimes.
Sometimes it's important to establish yourself.
Yeah, very true. But at the end of the day, mbona unajua it's so unfortunate unapata like kuna entry fee. But hata hata kupatia fare. Unajua saa zingine we don't demand payment. What we want is appreciation. Unajua leo ukiniita show, alafu nimeona kuna entry fee, hata unipatie fare. Kesho ukiniita unataka nikamwaje. Especially kana nafanya spoken word peke yake like what I do. Na most of the poets that najua. Yeah.
But you've hustled and look where you are right now. An album, tell us a bit about your album.
Album yangu it was I Am Blessed. It's all about spoken word and stuff. Unajua hiyo vile nimesema nilikuwa na perform gigs nyingi, so nilikuwa na after gigs mtu anakuambia ni aje tutapata wapi stuff zako, so uko like unamwambia wewe nitafute tu social media na kikutafuta you don't post stuff.
You don't post anything.
Yeah, so nilikuwa inspired kufanya album. Iko na 6 pieces. Hii album ni affordable. Si cheap, ni affordable. 499 peke yake.
Hiyo Bob tutapeleka wapi?
Nakupatia Bob. Lakini Bob sana ni autograph.
You charge a shilling for the autograph.
Autograph.
I absolutely love it. Poet Captain Andrew about to perform a short piece for us, just to, you know, showcase his talents. An amazing Nairobi-based.
Nairobi-based, yeah.
Nairobi-based poet.
Nakwambia.
Yes.
Yeah.